No. Come on, where is it?
Dave, it's your Idaho Central app here. Any chance you're missing a debit card? Let's get that taken care of for you. With ICCU's card control, you can turn any card off with the tap of your finger.
You got it.
And back on again. Out, 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 out. The closest Idaho Central Credit Union branch is in your pocket.
It's the fall kickoff sale at Lithia Ford of Boise. We're going all the way so you can score more for your trade-in and trade up to a new Ford truck or SUV today. Visit Lithia Ford of Boise, where Ford begins in Idaho.
It's time for the Postgame show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. All Bronco Nation news broadcasts come from the Western Collective Studios. Head down to Western Collective's locations in Garden City or downtown Boise to try some of their delicious beers, including the Horseshoe Golden Ale, the first beer to support an NIL collective. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Postgame show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, there it is with 2.2 seconds to go. And the final shot unable to go for Boise State at the buzzer. And the Broncos fall in heartbreaking fashion here in the finals of the Cayman Islands Classic. Javin Buchanan does make the all-tournament team, and he's kind enough to join us here after a tough one. Javin, doesn't get much worse than that, a buzzer beater like that. What are the thoughts right now?
I mean, I'm proud of how we fought. I mean, credit to Boston College. They hit a really tough shot. That's sometimes how basketball works. It sucks, but we just got to bounce back now.
What did you think of the final possession defensively? What were you thinking they were going to try to do, and how do you think you guys defended?
Oh, I didn't really see what happened, but obviously you switch everything.
All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Again, you asserted yourself, had another nice game for you. It's the same as yesterday, I guess, in the second half, especially just trying to will your team the best you could to a win.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt like my night a little bit again, and still some stuff I could clean up for sure. We can all clean up a lot of stuff, but yeah, I mean, it just happened to be one of those nights. But we didn't get the win, so just got to get back to the drawing board.
You guys, 39% shooting. It seemed like a lot of shots were kind of falling short. I mean, was it just you guys looked like you're running on fumes there, third game and third day there in the second half?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, sometimes we just don't hit shots, but we put ourselves in position to win, even with shooting 39%. So we just gotta be better, just at the end of the day.
What do you take away from the tournament and the time down here?
I really enjoyed it. congratulations to Boston College. We'll be back for sure.
An ACC team like this, a physical team, 2 close games like this. I mean, you're going to have a lot of close games in Mountain West play and stuff, and face teams like this moving forward here. I mean, I know you don't want to think about it right now, but are there some positives you think down the road you can take from this?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, every situation, win or loss, I think you learn more from the losses. So we'll be back and we'll be better. We're definitely not giving up, but right now, obviously, it sucks. Nobody likes losing. So yeah, but we'll be back for sure.
How it's gonna be a tough one to put away. Gonna be a tough trip back. I mean, you get a couple of days off for Thanksgiving, but how do you guys try to turn the page here?
Yeah, we have no choice. That's how fast basketball moves. We have to turn the page. It's gonna sting for a while, but hopefully that just propels us into our next several games. So yeah, we can't really control much.
Well, I know the all tournament team is you don't care about that. You would have rather had the win, but at least congratulations on that, and safe travels back to Boise, and we'll see you in a couple days.
Yes, sir, thanks.
Thanks, Javin. Thanks for doing this, man. Javin Buchanan, nice enough to join us here after a loss. That obviously had to be tough to do. Coach Rice is going to join us next year, and then we'll get back to showing some more of those highlights and things. But 63-61 is the final score. We'll bring in Coach Rice. Probably the last thing you want to do is talk to me right now, Coach. But obviously a heartbreaker there, a 2.2 to go. Just your thoughts right now.
Well, we did some great things in this tournament, and we're going to learn a lot from it. And, that's what November's for. And with 8 new guys, we're still finding where the parts fit together. And, each game helps you answer some of those questions. But we had some guys get a lot better in this tournament, and one of them was Javin that we just talked to. I mean, he's going to be a great player for us, and his tournament was, those 2 games were, in my memory, 2 of the most dominant games I've seen some Broncos play. And so we're not a finished product in November, and I knew that, especially, like I said, with 8 guys that you're trying to navigate and put together and figure out how to get the best out of all of them. And, and that's what these are for. Win or lose, it's kind of back to the drawing board. We got to find some answers of how we can keep getting better, because this team's got a high ceiling.
Yeah.
I think, that shot misses, you're feeling great about winning the tournament. And, they were 1 for 11 from the 3 before he hit that.
Yep.
And
they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in America.
Right. But our whole thing was, on that last possession, keep them out of the paint. You can't let them get a lay-in. You want to make them shoot a jump shot at best case. And we kept him out of the paint. I don't know how well it was contested. I couldn't really see. In the set thing, we're trying to yell timeout, but it was just chaos.
I thought you were trying to get a timeout there.
What's that?
I thought you were trying to get a timeout there.
Yeah. And again, there's only 2.2 seconds. So, but what I would have, in a perfect world, I want them to throw as far as they can, get the timeout there, so then you can run something closer to the hoop. But, when the ball went in, it was just kind of chaos, and refs aren't looking at me, and I'm yelling, and they're, nobody could hear it. So I guess I should have just ran out there and made them call timeout. But hey, credit to Boston College. That was a heck of a battle, and they're physically a tough team. And I thought we settled in pretty nicely. We missed a lot of lay-ins at the start of that game that I think could have got us up. But like I said, I'm proud of the way we battled, and it was a good championship game.
You had you're up 9, I think, 54-45 with about 8 minutes to go. But I mean, not to make excuses, but some of the shots were just falling short, especially from Tyson. I don't know. Yeah. It looked like you guys were running on fumes a little bit there. 3rd game in 3 days. And I know it's the same for them too, but it definitely seemed like not the cleanest of games at times out there.
Yeah, and I'm not used to us missing free throws because we've been so great from the line. And we were up 8, missed the front end. Then, but hey, that's basketball. And like I said, we're going to learn a lot from it. And we came here to get better. We don't want to be a finished product in November. That's not what we are. And I knew that going in, like I said, with eight new guys. But we're going to sort through it, back to work.
Having 2 close games, Coach, where Both times, down to the wire. You're going to have games like this in Mountain West play. You're going to have, just to have 2 back-to-back days, pressure cook games. I know the one today didn't go your way, but obviously there'll be some situations, and maybe the next game, 2 games, 3 games, where you can lean on some of this stuff. I mean,
No doubt.
are there some positives you can take from some of this?
Oh, tons. Yeah. Like I said, you come to these things for good competition. You come to these things to get better. And, you want to win them, no doubt. But it's all, when you look all over the country at these tournaments, and I've been in enough of them to know, they're never going to go exactly as they're planned or supposed to. And there's always, you play them 10 times, you probably get 10 different champions maybe, or, maybe in this one, not 10 different champions, but 2 or 3 good teams could win it. And, but we were right there. We did some good things that we got to build on.
They're a physical. I mean, that's another game. I think if no one watched the game, they're going to go, whatever. I mean, they look at that was a physical back and forth game. They got some guys. I mean, they're going to beat some teams in the ACC. Probably.
Oh yeah, they're 6-1 and they guard. They have their own style. They're physically. It took us a while to settle in and start getting some fouls. It sped us up in the first half, and then we became pretty dang efficient in the second half against their physicality.
And one more about Javin. I mean, it seems like of the positives you can take away, you found a star in him. I mean, you found him, but like you said, the back-to-back 20-plus point games. I mean, it had to be super encouraging. And now the way you can keep finding ways to play to his strengths that you're seeing come out on a daily basis.
No doubt, and we'll build on that. And we got to beat travel. We got to get back there and enjoy Thanksgiving together, and then get back to work.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
Safe travels back. Right. Leon Rice, appreciate him after a loss for joining us here on the post-game show. Again, Boise State falls. Final score, 63-61. A buzzer beater. I guess it wasn't technically a buzzer beater. There was about 2.2 seconds to go when the shot went in. Coach was checking some of the comments there. I saw him looking down, so hopefully whatever you guys said wasn't too negative there. Grand Tetons. Way too early for that, folks. Way too early. Final play. Once again, a little bit of a pushback, maybe step back. Tough 3 right there in the corner with 2.2 seconds to go. Leon Rice trying to call a timeout, but at this point, no one's seeing it when they couldn't get the ball inbound right away. They wanted to get it to half court and call another timeout, but they weren't able to do that. The shot misses, and the game is over. Heartbreaking loss for Boise State. And again, just a heartbreak for Boise State. I love the folks. I love you, Todd, but same old team. What does that mean? This is the championship game of the tournament. A buzzer beater, took him out. I mean, it was one. If that shot misses, do you say great win? I don't know. I don't understand the same old team type stuff. That's just funny to me. Same old Leon, whatever. What does that mean? I mean, I don't know. If the shot misses, you say gutsy win, great win. But the shot goes in, so you say same old Leon, same old team. That's just interesting. It's a tough loss. I mean, 15-1 run. That was a tough one. I mean, Boise State was up 9. At one point, it was 54-45 with 8:22 to go. 54-45. They went on a big run there. They end up getting it to 55-60. So, that ended up being a let's see what we got here. 15-1 run, put them behind. That is correct. And again, it just was a tough physical game. And a lot of you guys that are commenting on here didn't even watch the game, so it's hard to take some of this stuff what you're taking seriously here. If you watch the game, this is a Boston College team that is certainly going to win some games. And I think if anything has told you something about guys, and I'm not here making an excuse for this team, but look at some of the previous years. I mean, they've had early season losses every single year. They were 3-4 the year they won the Mountain West. It is what it is. These are not, you play these tournaments, you play these games, you play pressure cooker situations. They could have stayed back in Boise and played a couple of cupcakes and had an easy win, and you don't kind of learn about yourself. But to see what Javin Buchanan did, you have a star in him. To have 2 back-to-back games that come down to the wire and the final shot, literally, I think that's going to bode well for this team moving forward. So this is a quad 2 game right now. This is not a horrible loss that keeps you out of the NCAA tournament. Should they have won the game? Yes, they were 8-point favorites, no doubt. I'm not making excuses. It's not a good loss at the time. It's a I don't know if bad loss is the right word, but it's a loss that you would have liked to have had. You were 8-point favorites in the game, and you just saw a team that just didn't play great tonight. Shot 39.2% from the field. Obviously, 4 of 17 from 3. So after making some shots, Mrs. Keene's a little sad heading out. But 4 of 17 from 3, obviously not going to cut it. Dylan Anderson was on the bench because they had some other guys that just did some things better than they did at this point. Abe Jackson going to join us here in a second. People overreacted after the San Francisco game, and then they went and beat Clemson right after that. So we bring in our man Abe Jackson. Abe, as you can expect, a lot of fans calling for the NIT and saying same old Leon, and ready to give up. Colton saying typical Boise State, underperforming the non-con, solid in conference. Obviously, if the shot misses, it's a gutsy win and a championship. But what's your takeaways, man?
Well, they couldn't find a bucket. It was over 8 minutes that they didn't have a field goal toward the end of that game, and they were making free throws to stay in it. But also credit Boston College. I mean, Javin was dominating them inside, and then they went to this little trapping zone, little bit of a press, and got the Broncos completely out of their offense. And but the Broncos hung in there, and really they got about everything they wanted on that last possession. You get a fadeaway three-pointer in the corner, a good three-point shooter, but he knocks down a shot. He knocked down a good shot. So. Credit to that guy for knocking it down, and the Broncos come out 2-1 and had a great close win yesterday and lose a close one.
Here's the highlight of the final shot, Abe. What did you see here on the final shot? I know what your viewing point was, but a little bit of a push off, a little bit of a step back, but that's a tough shot in that situation.
No, it's a tough shot, and Cardenas did a nice job of cutting off the drive because you drive and you want to make sure that he doesn't get to the hoop for an easy layup because you're only up 1. And he hits a step back. I mean, that's an NBA shot right there. That's what that is. It's a step back 3, and it was for the win and just a big-time shot for a team that only had made 1 3-pointer before that last one. I mean, sometimes the stats tell a game, right? And tell about a team, and sometimes they don't make any sense. Boston College came in as one of the top 25 teams in the country shooting threes. They go like 2 for 12 or 2 for 13, but then they hit a bunch of twos, and they're not a very good two-point shooter. So, sometimes they tell the story, sometimes they don't, but it was a big-time shot, and Boston College wins.
Yeah, tough one. I mean, did they have to get on the plane, though, and go back after that one tomorrow? I mean, that's going to be a long trip back.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, basketball is a long season, right? One win or loss, like other sports, doesn't make or break a season. And so there's a lot of games left. I know people are upset about the loss, and the Broncos didn't shoot very well toward the end of that game, but they gave themselves an opportunity, and the guy hit a crazy good shot. I mean, that was an NBA shot, a step back in the corner with 2 seconds left. That was just a big-time shot.
Boise State, it seemed like to me, was kind of running on fumes there in the second half. I know Boston College had to play 3 games in 3 days too, but a lot of the shots were just falling short. And 3 games in 3 days is tough. I mean, both teams had to deal with it, but it was a lot of turnovers, missed shots, just kind of a sloppy game for a lot of them.
It looked like the third game in 3 days. I mean, it does. There was some shots that were going down in other games that weren't going down in this one. But the Broncos hung in there, and they did. And I know I'm probably looking for silver linings in some of the comments. People just like to vent on here, and I get that too. But there's a lot of games in a basketball season, and there's going to be some really good wins that this Bronco team has. And, I don't think by any means does this loss right here encapsulate what this team's going to be at the end of the season.
I will say, though, I mean, you got to get more from your captains. I mean, Omar Stanley and Tyson Degenhardt.
Rough games.
Stanley fouled out for the second game in a row, and both those guys are all Mountain West first, second team type players, and both of them really in the last 2 games especially didn't give you a ton.
No, there wasn't a lot. too.
going on.
We'll see. I think they turned it off in the gym.
Maybe they're going to turn it back on.
I think they're going to try. I don't know. Not a great way to end that game either for BNN. But I don't know. Yeah, tough win for the Broncos. You're right though. Tough loss. They need to get more out of their some of their senior players, Degenhart and Stanley especially.
Well, we're going to go ahead and end this, I guess. It's a rough internet. They just turned the internet off on us. I'm on my phone, and that'll do it. We'll talk to you back in Boise. Boise State falls in the Cayman Islands Championship. Tough one tonight for Boise State. Tough one for us. I don't know if we're back or not back or what's going on, but we'll maybe get something up a little later. Apologize for the crappy internet, but we'll talk to you guys later. All right, we are still on. Let's see if this ends. Maybe we're still with us for a couple more seconds till the internet allows us to end the broadcast here. Hey, what's for the post-game meal here?
Got to go back to the hotel.